Today on the Follow Bridgeton Podcast, I speak with Stephanie Gonzalez, Bridgeton Urban Enterprise Zone Coordinator, about how she helps businesses and community thrive in the city and why that matters. Hello and welcome to the Follow Bridgeton Podcast. My name is Gavin Schweiger. I'm Assistant Editor for Follow South Jersey, and today I'm here with the Bridgeton UEZ Coordinator, Stephanie Gonzalez. Welcome on.
Thank you for having me. Really happy to be here.
I'm glad to have you on. So UEZ is Urban Enterprise Zone,
Yes.
and can you tell me what exactly that means?
We're a reduced sales tax program here in the state of New Jersey, between South Jersey, Central, and North Jersey. So we assess them not only to reduce their sales tax, but a portion of that money goes into projects that we administer here in the city of Bridgeton. And we love to make sure we get the information from the business owners of what they would like to see in our zone. So currently we create different projects for them through this incentive, to this reduced sales tax program.
So you are specifically UEZ Coordinator for Bridgeton City,
Yes.
but you also work with the NJ Department of Community Affairs.
Yes, they're the ones that started this program about, I want to say 45 years ago. So it's through the Community Affairs and then the UEZA, the New Jersey Enterprise Authority.
Gotcha. So can you run me through what the general job description of a UEZ coordinator is?
Make sure that I let the people know, the businesses know that we're here. It's a program that they can not only receive reduced sales tax for their sales tax, but we're also able to support them in any way. So business classes, business expos. We just added the UEZ initiative this year. So anything that the business owner needs, we try to find the right resources. I always like to say, if I don't have the resources, I will connect you with someone that can have the resources for you.
Gotcha. You mentioned a UEZ initiative. Can you tell me about that?
Yes. So with here in Bridgeton, the biggest thing was awareness. When I first started, we only had 28 businesses in the zone. Now currently we're almost 140 and growing. So a lot of people are connecting with us that they want to move their business here into the city of Bridgeton, which is very exciting. Starting with the UEZ funded events initiative, we started it because a lot of the vendors were like, Stephanie, I have to go to other cities to vend, and when I go there, they charge us vendor fees. And then depending on what type of business you have, a food or a retail, the rates start from $200 to $800 per event. And that's a lot of extra money that the vendor has to pay. On top of that, they have to pay for the extra food for that day or the extra product. And not only that, but pay their employees. So I thought if we created something here in Bridgeton where we had a series of events starting from May to December, they would have an opportunity not only to showcase their business, but also to bring their register and make money for their business without any extra overhead. So this is really exciting. And January 8th, we're actually going to be having the first UEZ Mixer of the year, so we could let the community know and the business owners know what type of initiatives we have going on for 2026. So I'm really excited about that.
That does sound really exciting. It sounds exciting for Bridgeton businesses. I know there's a lot of small businesses here. So, especially when you're cutting off those vendor fees and, that adds up. And that I'm sure, what kind of feedback have you gotten from these initiatives so far?
Amazing feedback. I'm really happy when a vendor calls me. It's like, hey, Stephanie, I have new customers coming in my store. Or, hey, Stephanie, I made double the money that I would have made that week, because everyone's together in one place. So the last event we had, that was a big summer thing, was the end of the year block party, the art party that we had here downtown. And so, the amount of the vendors that they made collectively that were there, we had about 60 vendors. They made in total around $11,000.
Wow.
To go to their pocket, to go home. And so they were really happy about that. And not only that, they're getting more support also from the state level, from the UEZA as well, DCA. So it's really nice to see that we're all coming together as a community, and we're showcasing the beauty that we have here in Bridgeton. We have a lake, we have a zoo, we have amazing trails in our parks. So those are the things that we really want to help also expand through the UEZ funded initiatives, events. So John Medica, he's amazing. He's a rec director for the parks and the lake and the zoo. And so we're working with him moving forward next year of doing a project to be able to provide a zoo concession stand where they actually sell food that's going to help create more jobs. Also a gift shop that's going to help create more jobs, but also have a little keepsake from our zoo. And then all the funds are going to help back into the zoo. So we're going to help rehab that. And then, of course, the lake and the trails. I'm really excited about that. So we're working, and we're not able to do this unless we collaborate with each other and support each other. So even though this is a state-funded program that I'm minister here for the city of Bridgeton, I represent the state of New Jersey as well as the city of Bridgeton. So I'm really thankful for my colleagues on both ends to be able to move this more.
Yeah, it sounds like there's a lot of moving parts happening. There's a lot of work going on.
Yes.
Would you also say, because especially with the stuff with the zoo, it sounds like there's a push to bring more people into Bridgeton.
Yes.
Would you say it's tourism or trying to get people to move here? Or?
Both. We would want both. I feel like the biggest thing here is we're very historic here in Bridgeton. I'm actually a historic commissioner here in the city of Bridgeton, and we want to help rehab different properties here in the city. We it's a lot of Victorian homes here, so help upgrade those to bring in more tourism. A lot of people actually to this day come down here just to look at the homes, the ones that we have. So the Main Street holds a holiday tour, and this year it's actually coming up December 6th next week, and so you'll be able to tour all the homes here in Bridgeton that take part of that event. So it's really nice to see.
Yeah, absolutely. It sounds like also that you're very entwined with community work as well, not just helping these businesses, but you're also out in the community.
Yes.
Would you say that's accurate? And
yeah, I think they go hand in hand. What I'm doing here, I have to make sure that the concerns of the residents that live in the UEZ are also heard on top of the UEZ businesses and the nonprofits organizations that are in our city. So I want to make sure every voice is heard, and I want to make sure that they know that the UEZ is for the people. The urban enterprise zone here in the city of Bridgeton is for everyone. And I think sometimes there is a little bit of misunderstanding to that. They think it's like a club or you have to have like special. No, everyone's welcome, and it's a free program. So thank you for having me here, so I'm able to spread out the word that, hey, we want to support you, whether you've been here for years in the city of Bridgeton or you just started, or you're not even here yet, you want to relocate into the zone. I want to reach those entrepreneurs that work very hard and cook delicious food, have amazing items, and that's only going to serve, like you said, the community. Is going to help all of us here that's in Bridgeton. So we're really not only the program but the city. So
absolutely. And you have some firsthand experience with moving to Bridgeton yourself,
yes.
because you're originally from LA.
Yes, yes, born and raised. So
can you tell me kind of what your experience was like in moving to Bridgeton and like integrating yourself into the community?
I say it was like a rebirth, like the phoenix. I had to start from scratch, really connect to my community, because I was such a big pillar in my community in Los Angeles, working there for 14 years. I worked different departments and different districts in Los Angeles. So I really had to find my home here. And since I moved here, I've been doing just that. And thankfully, I've been able to connect with different people in the community, because I'm also a teacher. So in California, I was a kindergarten teacher for some time. And so when I moved here, I started doing that for Fairfield Township School. I was a TA. I was like the second teacher in the classroom. And then I moved around, and I had my own business as well. Before I got here, I made candles and oils and stuff. And then I found Hope Loft, and I was like, wow, 22 nonprofits in one building? That's amazing. And so I went to check it out, and then I eventually saw that they had a job opening for engagement coordinator, advocate for families to college. So I was on board there for a few years before I started this position. So it really was helpful to get to know not only the students, but the parents in the community that I serve now to this day too. And the business owners at the time, I was getting to know them because I was buying food and different things for our events that we were having at Hope Love. So it really, like I said to you earlier, I think like everything's interconnected some way, somehow. And it's like a stepping stone to the next phase of your life. I don't know, I see it like that. So I'm happy to be here for the city now and doing what I love. And trying to help everyone as much as I can.
Yeah, it seems like you integrated really, I don't know if I want to say quickly, but smoothly into the community. I guess it will help when you're teaching and you're working with our nonprofits. Yes. And Hope Loft is the parent company of Follow South Jersey, so working almost in tandem with us.
Yes.
When you're here now, and you're working for the UEZ and you're trying to build up community and business, is it also a goal to make it, I guess, a smoother transition for people who are either trying to start a business or moving into Bridgeton? Trying to have some of that experience that you had?
Yeah, so it wasn't as easy. It was a lot of ups and downs through my journey to get here, a lot of hard work and tears and everything, but being homesick sometimes, and I'm very close to my parents and my brother in California, so my whole family, so it was a hard transition, but thankfully I found also family in the community members and the residents and the students that I taught, so that was very nice to get to this position. But I feel like right now the biggest goal is to be able to get these resources out and making it an easier process for them, and also having people understand the difference between me just working for the city of Bridgeton, but also representing the state of New Jersey, which is a UEZA program. So I want to make sure that if I could create easier a process for them, I will do that. Like currently I'm working with the construction department, zoning, rec and parks, like public works, to make sure we could create the steps that they have to go to acquire a building, or to get a CO, make sure that process is smooth as possible for them, putting everything together in one place. So we're actively working right now on our website and our UEZ Facebook page, which we'll be launching in January. So I'm very thankful for that, so we can make that easier as projects are passed, as events are posted, all of that would be there. So it'll serve like a main hub for everything to make the process easier for everyone. So I'm really excited about that, to get that started. Because me as a business owner as well, I don't share this as much, but in California I also had my business, and I went through it. I went through like someone saying, I don't know the information here, I don't know, so I had to really work extra harder to get the information to start my business. So I just want to make sure people have the steps for them already laid out and make it easy as possible for them.
Do you have people in this community that are looking to start businesses a lot? Is that a common?
Yeah, so the thing with Bridgeton UEZ, right, the program, you have to have a location that you're operating that's in the zone. So it's usually a storefront, brick and mortar store. And a lot of the younger entrepreneurs are online businesses. They're based from home offices. So I want them to know that the resources are for you guys too, but you technically have to have a location beneath the zone. So that's one of my biggest missions right now, is not only getting the awareness of the program, but making sure these young entrepreneurs that want to establish their business here in Bridgeton will be able to do so. So I have this young lady by the name of Jasmine. She goes by Jazz with the vocals. She's also a singer, but she's a chef. She's going to culinary school right now, cooks amazing meals. And so she came to me and said, Stephanie, I also really want to do this long term. How can I go about that? And I said, okay, well, this is what we're going to do. We're going to help create your LLC. We're going to help create that link to the, the Treasury Department, look into business registration, so we could get her business certified through the state. Once she's able to do that, then I'm going to help her find a location down here, and then she could enter the UEZ program. But it takes steps, and I'm willing to do everything from the beginning to the end with them so they could feel supported and make the process, like I said, smoother for them. So I'm really excited to have her, so keep a lookout for her. Food is soul food, so we're really excited to have her, something different that we don't have in the city right now.
Yeah. It seems like there's a lot of people in this community that really are pleased with what the work that you do. I covered the UEZ Gala that you put on.
Yes.
I believe it was earlier in the month.
Yes, it was last month.
Mm-hmm. It was last month. It was the end of last month.
October 8th, yeah. I mean, no, I'm so sorry. It's November 8th.
So it was, okay, all right.
Yeah, it was. So many things.
It's all keeping track.
Yes.
There. I'm wondering...
It's really inspiring to hear business owners thank me, because I always tell them it takes a village. I have a great team here in the city of Bridgeton, UEZ, as well as the state. So here in the city, it's Kevin Rabago. He's our business administrator, and Heather Moran, she is our UEZ project manager. Between them and the CFO in the city and our state colleagues, it's really much of a village. And I always say the business owners that are in the program are that's the only reason we're able to also continue going, the more people that we get. So I'm really humbled when I hear those things, because I work very hard because I care about it, but also I understand what they've been through as a business owner myself. And my family also has businesses, my grandma's. So it's really inspiring, and I'm really thankful for that, because that's what you want to hear, right? When you're working hard, you want to make sure that you're doing the right thing by everyone, not just a certain group. I want to make sure everyone knows that I'm for the people. I always say that, but it's a thing, it really is. Some people have different motives, and that's some of the feedback I got, like when I first started. Is this something you have to pay? Is this something that you're going to not tell me and something's hidden, So it's like they were very much protective of their business when I first started. They weren't afraid to share information. They were afraid to even join the program in the beginning because of their experiences with other people and other stuff that affected their business. So when I started, I really had to showcase hey, I really do care. I am going to see you tomorrow or next week. I'm going to come by and I'm going to show my face. And that was the biggest thing to making sure I gained their respect and their confidence. And I'm still working on that too right now, but I think we're moving forward in a good direction. So I'm excited for that.
Yeah. You mentioned a lot about working hard, and you're trying to establish trust in a community.
Yes.
What are, if you want to chime in on some of those as well, but what are some of the other challenges of this position and working in this community?
I guess the challenge is just making sure that right now it's still brand new. I've only been in this position going on my third year. And so really still creating more awareness for this program, getting more businesses signed up. I think it's still a big thing for me, but also reaching out to the people that feel that they're not served, they're not supported. So I want to make sure that they know that we're here for them. There is a process, there is guidelines for this program. You have to be in tax compliance with the state, and your business has to be registered through the state, so have an active business registration certificate. So a lot of the businesses that I came across didn't have these things, but I was so thankful to be able to help them get this stuff done for them so they can enter the program. So I went through a lot of that. I'm also working with the Division of Taxation as well to help the business owners that are maybe past due in their sales tax. They give them a discount and they'll take some stuff off, they'll waive some off, or help them get a payment plan to get them back on track so they can join. So that's some of the difficulties I was having, helping them get the right accountant to keep their stuff on time and things like that. That's one of the biggest things too as well. So I'm working on a project right now to create some type of support with that. So I guess actively there's always going to be, I guess, issues or things that we have to address, but I'm happy to do so because that's what we're here for. There's always going to be different things every year, and every year hopefully we could reach a new milestone. And so that's the goal here with UAZ. Every year, every day, I want to learn something better and to be able to serve my community better. So, yeah.
Say every year there's a new milestone. So, we're closing out on 2025, which
yes.
is beyond me at
yes.
this point.
It flew by.
I have no idea where it went. But what were some of the goals that you set out for this year, and how do you feel that you did with that?
Yeah, so this year the team, we actually in January of this year, we were able to get approved, the UAZA approved our 5-year plan. So our 5-year plan is huge because if we didn't have this approved, we weren't able to actively keep submitting projects every month to get it approved. Mm-hmm. So this gives us a guideline of what we're really doing here in Bridgeton based on what the residents want to see in UAZ, the business owners in UAZ, and the partners in UAZ. So I could share that with you. We would like to share that to the public, to see what we're actively working on. But that was a big thing because right now there's still like 20-something municipalities that need that. So we're ahead of the game. We're number 3, I guess, on the list that was approved.
Oh, wow.
And we didn't, we self-did it. So between Kevin, Heather, and myself, we wrote it. We didn't have to pay extra money because we always make sure that the taxpayer money goes correct. And if we could save some money and we do the work, instead of hiring someone for like $100,000 to do it, we save that money so we could put it into projects. So that's a really big win for us. And then the other thing was establishing the UAZ funded events this year. We started from May and we're ending in December, which if I could give a plug to the event we're doing with Bracken Park, John Medica, we're going to be doing the holiday parade, not only this year, but every year. Hopefully everything, continues to work well, but it's December 13th and it's between 12 and 2, but we're doing a UAZ market at 10 a.m. where we're going to be providing free printed photos. We're going to also provide free hot chocolate, free tea, free desserts. So it's going to be really nice right here, Pocket Park, right behind us. So we're hoping the public to come out and enjoy. Para la gente que habla español, quería decir que vamos a estar aquí diciembre 13 de las 10 a las 2 aquí en Pocket Park para que vengan al desfile de Navidad. So los puedo mirar aquí a ustedes. Yeah.
I'm so glad that you said that also in Spanish. I mean, we have a large Hispanic
yes.
Population here, at least half.
The statistics, so it's actually surprising enough, it's like around 85%.
85%.
Hispanic, and then African American, I believe, is another 35%. And then we go down to Asian population and American, so it's like between 20 and 20 between those. So yeah, it's a big population here, and our on record it's around 27,000 right now in Bridgeton, give or take.
And you are the first in your position to speak Spanish as well.
Yes, I am very proud of that because when Kevin Rubago and the team in the city of Bridgeton and the state hired me, they said that was the biggest thing that they were seeing here. We had a big Latino population, and that was partly of the reason of the misconnection of the program and their benefits. So I was able to, share that with my community here that spoke Spanish as well. So it was really nice, and I'm really proud of that. So thankful.
Do you feel like the fact that you speak Spanish has really helped you in your position, and especially with that gaining trust?
Mm-hmm. I feel like it has a lot to do with it. A lot of the businesses here, like I said, only spoke Spanish or very little Spanish. So when someone in government would come, they're like, oh no, they want to charge us extra. They want to do something, So I really had to help them understand what we were doing here and that we were for them and whatever they needed. They weren't really used to that, I guess. And not only that, we have the population. I come from Los Angeles, so it's very diverse, a melting pot. And so it was encouraging to invite other cultures to come in our city that already make up our city. So I'm really thankful for that.
Yeah, and you were also doing work for the city of Los Angeles before you got here, right?
Yes.
Can you tell me a little bit about what you were doing there, going back?
Yeah, I started when I was 14, actually. I was a youth counselor in training for summer camp. My mom works for the city of Los Angeles, and she's like, Stephanie, you have to get into this work. You know, it's great work. And so I didn't really want to do it at first, but when I got there, I fell in love because it's all about giving back. So I started with the summer camp, then I became a director later on when I got older. And from there, I did like after school program, enrichment programs. And then from there, I was a teacher at one point as well. And then from there, I started working with the businesses, particularly in the downtown Los Angeles area. So I was really thankful to be able to connect with them. Art and music is a big thing in Los Angeles. So I was able to incorporate that into the business owners. And I was actually in charge of hosting a lot of the big events for the business owners downtown and throughout the city of Los Angeles. So I was really thankful to be able to have that experience on a bigger level. I mean, we had 4 million people in the downtown Los Angeles, you know, and when I would host events, it would be at least 40,000 people coming to the events. So it was a big help leaving there to here to really go hand in hand with what I've learned, my experience. And, you know, it took a lot from 14 to like, I'm not saying my age, but to later on being able to bring that here in Bridgeton was really, you know, good. Like I said, the interconnected thing, like I believe in God a lot in my life and everything I do. And I always believe like God has a plan and is always giving me like the stepping stones. And I'm really thankful for that. Yeah.
Yeah, it seems like you brought a lot of experience and each, like you said, stepping stones. Each time you do something new, there's something to be taken from it.
Yes.
Yeah, I totally understand that. On kind of a more, I don't want to say general because it's like I want you to think deep about it, but like what drives you into this public service, you know, working for cities and working for communities?
I give the credit to my parents. They always installed in me to give back, to work hard, but also to do something that comes from my heart and something that I'm really passionate about. Because my parents always tell me to this day, if you're not happy in what you're doing, it just becomes a duty, right? It just becomes a paycheck. And that's not what I wanted to do with my life. I always been at a young age, like do it because it's going to support the bigger picture of everything that we have going on. I really believe that I live my life, that I have a divine purpose, and I'm able to do the things to help others, and I really enjoy it. So it's like fun. If you ever see me not on a work day, like a Saturday, Sunday, I'm still talking about work, but it's just because I understand that nothing's ever built overnight, right? So it takes time to get where you're going. And I know Bridgeton still has a long way to go, but I feel so much more inspired by the incredible people I've met here in Bridgeton and that been doing the work before I even got here. So I'm just very humbled and make sure I give my kudos to everyone that's been doing amazing work here in Bridgeton.
Yeah, you do a good job of keeping everybody included. For actually that UEZ gala, you gave out, I think you said 180 awards at least. Yes. And, you know, it covered a large portion of the nonprofits and businesses and people in Bridgeton.
Yes.
I'm curious, you have this no person left behind attitude, and I'm wondering where that comes from as well.
I guess I also could say that, you know, my experience in city of Los Angeles, it wasn't always the easiest either. I had to also go through different people's egos and titles and things like that. And I know what it feels sometimes to be left behind and not included. And I guess that's one of my biggest things. And as a teacher, I guess in me, I always want to make sure everyone's included. I believe that everyone's special and everyone has gifts and talents that they could share with the world. So that's my biggest thing. I don't ever want to let anyone feel not included. Yeah.
Yeah. Tell me about some of the projects that you have. Actually, first of all, before anything coming up, but this is also coming up. So you mentioned the UEZ 5-year plan.
Yes.
So if you're allowed to publicly say some of the points on this plan, I would love to hear what's in store.
So I could kind of start, like, for 2024 and 2025, the biggest thing was to help bring more assistance with the buildings downtown. So we have a facade program that currently is active. So it's like a reimbursement, the way that it's worked. So the business owner spends up to $20,000, and we were able to refund 75% of that. So that's for lighting, signage, curb appeal, cameras, things like that to assist the peel the front of the facade. So that's very helpful for the business owners. A lot of them downtown don't have signs because they're like, Stephanie, it's so expensive to get a sign. So this way it's a little incentive of like, hey, you're spending the money, but guess what? 75% of that, you're getting it back. So it's really nice to see that people are taking more advantage of that, which was on the 5-year plan. The other thing that people brought to attention was like, Stephanie, the events. So we added the events to our 5-year plan. We also added, a lot of people were saying, the perception of the safety downtown, and they felt like it wasn't safe. So we want to make sure everyone to see that like it is safe down here. So we added the policing initiative. It's not yet approved. We're hoping to have it approved by UEZA soon. But this way we'll have walking patrols, off-duty police officers in our zone actively walking. The police department does a great job, but as you know, the UEZ has a zone that we have to stay in. And the police can't just stay there, because if there's something happens outside the zone, they have to go attend to that. So we're working with the chief currently, right now, the police chief, to make sure that this off-duty police officer initiative not only starts this year, but we get it going every year. So that was part of the 5-year plan. The other thing that business owners wanted to see was more classes, more business expos, things like that here in Bridgeton without having to travel outside the zone. So we're currently working on that as part of our 5-year plan. Let's see, also making sure our infrastructures, our buildings are functioning properly. We're currently doing phase 2, the bulkhead right now. So they're doing the mapping, because the biggest goal is to drench it, to clean it out, to take that smell out that people complain about, and also just having an area that we're able to use for our events. In the downtown, I'm not sure if you were, but we had a lot of historical events here at the Bridgeton waterfront. So we want to bring that back to the community. So we're working very hard to get that going. In the Pocket Park initiative here, we're wanting to bring a digital kiosk so we're able to support all the nonprofits in their events to help support the business owners. We're even going to work with them to get some type of coupons going on with them. And we're going to help put a sign here, because a lot of people are like, where's Pocket Park? And I'm like, right next to the mural. So we're going to make sure we have signage for you guys, some shade and funky seats. We're working on that. And then the fountains have been down for a while. A lot of people use that for pictures, for homecoming, prom, weddings. So that really brought the community together. So we want to make sure we bring that back. So, and then we're doing the food truck station back here as well. So there's a lot of projects.
It seems like there's a lot of initiatives that you're trying to do to, I guess, beautify the city.
Exactly. Yes. And I feel like that's going to go hand in hand with the tourism that we want to help bring back to Bridgeton. So
what does an ideal Bridgeton look like to you?
That's a tough question. I feel that I work in Bridgeton, but I also live in Bridgeton. So I definitely want to feel more unity in Bridgeton, more collaborations in Bridgeton. Mm-hmm. I feel just a place that you could just, when I first moved here from Los Angeles, what really brought me to Bridgeton, when I got here, I was really excited that all the buildings are very historical, just like the small town feel, I guess, from coming from a bigger city. And I literally walk from City Hall to the riverfront, and it doesn't take me that long, of 10 minutes, 15 minutes to get down. So you'll usually see me walking up and down downtown. And so I just love that. We're 6.2 of a mile, I believe, somewhere around there. So it's not so huge that we're not able to get across town. I think driving it takes less than 2 hours to go all around the city. So it's that's a big advantage, because that means that we're able to see things more clearly from an aspect of seeing it, city of Los Angeles, 4 million people to like 26,000. And like, so I'm able to like zone in on what we need to work on more here in Bridgeton. And I think that's beautiful that we're able to, you know, tackle it on better together.
Makes it seem more achievable.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
That's, you know, that's a great goal to have for Bridgeton. And it seems like, you know, the 5-year plan and a lot of the upcoming initiatives and events that you guys have are making that happen. I mean, the facade program has already started.
It's active, yes. It started in 2024, so a year after I started. And then after that came the revolving loan fund, which I haven't mentioned. So Cumberland Empowerment Zone, Denise Jackson, she administers this loan for us. That was another issue that business owners were having. When I first started, they're like, Stephanie, I want to borrow money, but the interest rate is crazy right now. So what me and Kevin and Heather created was a project where business owners are able to borrow up to $50,000. The term is 5 to 20 years, and the interest is between 3 and 6%. So it's very low interest, longer time to pay it back, and this helps the business owners with either like their bill stuff, their merchandise, their bookkeeping. So it really helps for all around to give them an extra hand when maybe they couldn't get that at the banks. So we're excited about that. And so far, we actually gave out 5 revolving loans already that help local businesses here in the city. And we're looking to move on to phase 2 in 2026. So we're really excited about that. And then also, the Feinstein building right behind us at the corner has been empty around 15, 16 years. And so I was able to connect with the building owners and help them, you know, give the vision of what we're really doing here in Bridgeton, UEZ. And they were all on board. They allowed me to help connect them to investors that really wanted to come into the city. So it took a while, like around almost 2 years, but we were able to get it done. And that's going to be coming out soon next year. So we're excited to announce that in January at our mixer, what's going to be going there. The one thing I could say is that they're gifting us the middle location. So we're going to create that into a shared kitchen space, which is huge for our city because that gives entrepreneurs that are first starting out an opportunity where they'll be able to pay less rent and share a space, kind of like a food court kind of idea concept. So we're really excited to bring that forth to the city next year, hopefully to see a lot more different restaurants in the downtown.
It'll probably bring a lot of people who wouldn't necessarily be able to purchase a facade or, you know, their own building and give them somewhere to go.
Exactly.
It's a noble goal.
Yes.
It's, you know, it seems like you are very ambitious. I mean, it seems like the whole thing is very ambitious. So how do you feel that, how do you feel in achieving these ambitious goals?
I'm very, I feel that I go back again to God, but like I can't do this alone, and I can't do it alone without my team. So, and my partners. The other thing I started doing is working with local nonprofits that wanted to work with me. So, keeping our minds occupied, Mr. Harlan Miller, Tony Hill with Games on the Go, the Bridgeton Public Library, the Bridgeton Chamber of Commerce, to name a few, the Girl Scouts, the Boy Scouts. They really came together to assist me with the UEZ funded event. So we were able to give out free things to the community, from food to entertainment. So that's really exciting. And that wouldn't have happened if people didn't come together, right? And say, hey, I want to support. I already do this and X, Y, and Z. Could we help with you? How can our initiatives interconnect? And so that's what we've been actively doing. And also I forgot Gina from Hope Loft. She's amazing. And Isaiah Showell, they're always assisting and helping. Actually, when I first started this position, Isaiah was always coming to cover our events and making sure we had coverage. And that's really helpful. We didn't have him at the time. We didn't have funds to be able to do that. So that was super helpful for us. And so it's all about like working together as a team and getting these things done together and moving forward to honor each person's initiative. That's really what UEZ is about, to help create more jobs, help to have more incentives for the business owners, but also the residents. So it's really much so not just me, and what fuels me is them, is they're constantly calling me every day, emailing me, or they'll come visit me at City Hall, and it just keeps me going. Even though some days I'm tired, it's worth it because I see the difference that it's making.
Absolutely. Stephanie, thank you so much for being on the podcast. This has been a wonderful conversation. It's always good learning more about City of Bridgeton and what's going on in it. If anybody wanted to, find out more about the UEZ, what's going on, or get in contact with you, where would they go?
The City of Bridgeton website. I'm under the Urban Enterprise Zone, or you can find me on the state website for UEZA. You just Google UEZA, Bridgeton UEZ Coordinator, and all my information will pop up there. But my email is gonzalez@cityofbridgeton.com. I'm not so good with phone number, but it's all on the city website too. And you could also stop by to City Hall anytime. I'm there every day between 8:30 and 4:30. So I look forward to meeting anyone that would like to collaborate or even join our program. We're actively still looking for people to join and grow the program. So.
Stephanie Gonzalez, thank you so much.
Thank you, Gavin. You're the best. Thank you so much for having me.